Hey, what's up, guys? This is Crypto Goshen again, back with another video. I just want to have a conversation with you guys out there. Uh, I, I know most people are struggling to make ends meet. There are folks who are tired of the jobs, but they have to go to the job because they have bills to pay. There are folks who would like to be in a position to be able to just breathe financially every now and then without working from paycheck to paycheck. And so part of what I just want to talk to you guys about is just want you to get a perspective that you are in control of your destiny more so than you think. I'm, by the way, a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, and with Him, I know we can do all things, but He won't do the work for us. We got to be out there looking. We have to be out there searching. And then at some point, you have to get your feet wet and you have to get in the game. So one of my favorite financial authors is a guy by the name of Robert Kiyosaki. I know many of you guys out there in crypto YouTube and just the whole financial services industry, you know who he is. He's the author of a book that I read, I guess, 20 years ago that's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It was really the first book that was related to finances that opened my financial eyes. Uh, he subsequently wrote a book after Rich Dad, Poor Dad that was called Cash Flow Quadrant. And in that book, Cash Flow Quadrant, he talked about that there are four ways to make income. And as you guys see on the screen, this quadrant he actually broke out in as ESBI. ESBI. These are the four quadrants. And at the top left, this is where most people unfortunately live their entire lives. You see this depiction of this gentleman, it's almost like a robot. It's just being wound up every day, sort of going through the motion, not passionate about the job because he's, barely making ends meet. Doesn't have a sense of purpose relative to him being able to do some of the things that he wants to do for his family. And it's again, if you project that over a life of a person, it's a pretty much a sad thing. But this is where most people resides. About 95% of the population, they live in the E quadrant, where you're literally exchanging your time for money. So obviously, if you're looking to make more money, you got to work harder or work longer. You have to moonlight. You have to go out and get your second job, or you have to work quote unquote overtime, right? Now, certainly if you do one of those two things, if you were to go out and get your second job, or if you were to uh, work overtime, you're going to have more money in your pocket. But guess what? You're not going to have any time to enjoy it. And unfortunately, most people here, they are afraid of taking risk. Although they'll tell you, at the end of the day, just working a job in perpetuity for 40, 50 years, that's a risk, right? But most people in this quadrant, they are averse to risk, although they want more for themselves. They want more for their family. They want more for their loved ones. Mentally, it's tough for them to make that transition out of not being a risk taker uh, to just being a risk taker and just putting it all on the line where they could potentially set themselves up where they can exponentially grow their income. So again, most of these folks are just going to stay here all their life. They're going to retire. They'll certainly get a. Most companies are not doing pension checks. Hopefully, these folks would have invested in a 401k or 457b if you're in a government of a nonprofit program. Eventually, you'll get your Social Security, but you're going to still be struggling, most of you anyway, in retirement. Who wants to live like that? That's a rhetorical question. I don't want you guys to answer that question, but who wants to live like that? And there's another group of people who just hate the man. They hate working for people. They abhor punching in a clock and all. So what they eventually do, they say they've worked as an employee for a while, and they eventually decide that, I'm gonna start my own business. I'm gonna become self-employed. I'm gonna stop reporting to the man. And so they start their own business. But unfortunately, here, you're actually working harder as somebody who's self employed than the person who's actually punching in a clock 5 days a week, putting in 40 hours. So these people quickly realize why they have some control, obviously, of their time. They're working a lot harder. So instead of working 40 hours a week, they're working 60, 70 hours a week because, again, they're having to make ends meet. They're having now to shepherd the load of paying for their health insurance and so forth and so on. So these folks, while it feels good that, yeah, you've left the man, that you've started your own business, they quickly realize that this here or this type of posture does not have a positive end. And so ultimately, what we all want to do, we all want to at some point extricate ourselves from the left side of what they call this cash flow quadrant. Again, it is something that Kiyosaki really expounds on in his book, Cash Flow Quadrant. And also, he talks about that a little bit in the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. But ultimately, if you're wanting to build wealth for you and your family, if you're wanting to generate some additional passive income or just passive income, period, you got to do something different. You're going to have to at some point take some risk. You're going to have to at some point step out of the boat. And then hopefully with doing that, you'll be able to start walking on some water, being able to get yourself in a better financial situation, being able to get yourself debt free at some point down the road. In order for you to do that, you're going to have to transition over to the right side of the cash flow quadrant. And this is where the B's and the I's live. This is where they thrive, the business owner or the investor. Now, for business owners, they're literally leveraging people, other people's time, and other people money. So these are companies like Facebook. That's why you have this depiction of Mark Zuckerberg here. He understood two things. He understood the value of leveraging people, and those are the users of Facebook. And unfortunately, he doesn't pay you anything for using Facebook. He's making and keeping all the money, and that is unfortunate. And he also understands the value of network, right? Building a massive network, and that's what Facebook ultimately is, right? It's a massive network of people all over the world, right? And it has made him extremely wealthy, but it also should cause the users of that platform to step back and realize that they are literally making this guy rich. Again, no shade on Mark. He's doing this thing. Kudos to him. But at the end of the day, it should force every user of Facebook to step back and think about what if they could plug into a network? What if they could make money while they're asleep, passive income? And there are ways today that you can do that, even while you maintain your 40-hour a week job. And then last but not least, for those who are super wealthy, like Warren Buffett here, Jeff Bezos, the guy who founded Amazon.com, who's now left the position, I guess it's been well over a year now, as CEO. He's out there exploring different ventures, right? You have him, obviously, Elon Musk, and some others, right? These are investors in their own business or businesses. They typically have more than one business. These are investors in equities, the stock market. These are investors into precious metals like gold and silver and palladium. And some of these folks are actually investors, slowly but surely, in what you guys probably know as cryptocurrency. Some call it digital assets, right? And then mainly for those who don't like using the word crypto, if you're a legacy investor, you like to say that you are invested in the blockchain. I always tell people you will never have a blockchain without crypto. So they're really one and the same. There is a distinction, but just know at the end of the day that if you are invested in the blockchain, that you're also invested in cryptocurrency. And the reason I make that segue was because you over here who are working 40 days, 40 hours a day, some working 60, 70 hours a day because you got a part-time job trying to make ends meet. Imagine you being in a position where you can keep your full-time job while you can start operating over here both in the B and I quadrant as somebody that builds a network where you're leveraging the efforts of other people or somebody that is starting their own business, right? on a part-time basis, starting a home-based business, somebody that has the ability to invest in a new financial product called digital assets or cryptocurrency, where you can exponentially grow the return on your investment. That is who I am after today. I want you guys to realize that the playing field is indeed level, but you won't know that until you get in the game, and you got to stop playing it safe. Life is too short to be playing it safe. A lot of you guys been around 40, 50, 40, 50, 60 years old. You're not going to be around another 40, 50, 60 years. And you got to do something radical now to change not only your financial future, but the financial future of you and your family. There's a scripture in the Bible that says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children. Legacy is a big thing, guys. We all want to be in a position where we're leaving resources to our kids and our grandkids. And cryptocurrency and digital asset investing writ large allows you to do that. So I'm going to pivot over to a couple of platforms in the cryptocurrency space that allow you to invest and start to build a nice passive income by being part of these protocols. I have actually done a couple videos in the past about each one of these, so these won't be unfamiliar to those who are subscribers to the channel. And oh, by the way, a couple things. I am not a financial advisor. So what I am basically talking to you about is my own personal journey. I'm also looking just to open people's eyes, right? To let them know that you can go out there and get a hold of your financial future. You can do that even being afraid. But again, you got to get your feet wet. You got to step out of the boat and get in the waters so you can start moving your financial future forward. So again, not a financial advisor. Don't take this as financial advice at all. And then for those that like what they're hearing, if this is something that is resonating in your spirit, I'm going to ask that you become a subscriber of the channel by clicking on that subscribe button there at the bottom. Also, like the video if there's something of value in here that you like. And if you have questions about anything you've heard me say, please leave those questions in the comments down below, if you will. But again, if you're looking to change your financial future, if you're looking at the possibility of enhancing your income or creating passive income, investing in cryptocurrency, investing in digital assets is one of the best ways you can do it. If you just need some rudimentary help relative to how to get started in crypto, again, put that down in the comments and I'll do a video regarding that. And at some point, I'll probably do a live Q&A with those who are interested in actually getting started with crypto. But let me know if that's what you want, and I'll make sure I get that set up in the near future. But in the meantime, if you're already acclimated to what cryptocurrency is, but you are in somewhat of a dark place right now with crypto because it's been in what they call an extended bear market, uh, please know that there are ways to actually make really, really good income in cryptocurrency, even in a bear market. And so part of what you want to do, you want to start transitioning your thinking instead of just buying and holding, which we all do, obviously, especially those that are new in crypto. You buy a crypto, you hold, and then you hope and pray that it goes up 1,000%. And some do. Many will, especially as we get back into a bull market and whenever that happens. But in the meantime, or until that happens, there are opportunities for you right now to start making money in crypto. You can do that through a platform called Novatech. Excuse me. Excuse me. Give me some water here. So you can do that in a platform that's called Novatech. It is one that's been around a little over 3 years. It is averaging, as it relates to profits that it pays out to its members every Friday. Every week is 3% on your deposit. It's something that you want to look into. I got videos I've made relative to Novatech, so check out that video, please. There's another one that's called Wealth Mountain. This one here is a lot more risky today than when I got into it about 47, 48 days ago. But suffice it to say that this one allows you to make initially 1% on whatever you put into the protocol. That 1% can ultimately go up to 5% over a period of time, and that's 5% a day, which is pretty amazing. So you want to also look at Wealth Mountain. There are videos I've made regarding that. You can check out in my channel. Another one of my favorite passive income generating platform in crypto is Drip, the Drip Network. Drip actually pays you 1% a day off your daily deposit. And so this is one Drip account that I have. I have another one that I roughly have about 1,500 Drip. It's a net amount is about 10,500 in that one, but it's literally paying 1% a day. So this one is another great opportunity where you can actually grow and make some really good passive income. And I would have to say that my favorite one right now, relative to short term, really good passive income, as you guys have seen in a couple of videos I've made, is actually Stable Fund. Stable Fund, as it states here, pays you 1.5% daily off your investment. You can invest a stable coin like BUSD, which is a stable coin on the Binance Smart Chain. And again, it pays 1.5% a day. And you can literally take that profit out every day if you so choose to. Or if you like to do it every 2 days, 3 days, every week, you can do that as well. But Stable Fund is a fantastic platform. It's been around about 4.5, 5 months now. The contract relative to the assets that it has in the protocol continues to grow. It's about $24 million in BUSD in the contract. And so imagine for a minute, I'm going to pull this calculator up. Imagine for a minute, you had $3,000 laying around that you wanted to put in Stable Fund, just to give you some ideas to the amount of passive income you can make from this platform. That's times 1.5%. So it's roughly about $45 a day. I will say this, Stable Fund actually takes out 3% on your initial deposit. So just know that's the way it's set up. You invest 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 1,000, they're going to take 3% out. That's the only thing they take out relative to fees that you would pay the platform. But under this scenario, let's say your net amount is $3,000 that you've invested. You're making 1.5% a day, which equates to $45 a day. And then, so if you extrapolate that out over 30 days, $45 a day times 30, you're making $1,350 a month in passive income. Think about that for a minute. $1,350 a month in passive income. And then to know that after you put your initial capital in this scenario of $3,000, once you've had it in this protocol for 28 days on day number 29, you can actually pull that out if you so choose to. Now, certainly if you were to take it all out, you're no longer making this passive income. So most choose to leave it in there. And what all of us want to do, we all want to be in a position ultimately where we're making passive income. And this is income that you're not having to work for, unlike being in the east side of the cash flow quadrant that we just talked about here, where you're exchanging time for money. Now you're operating down here on these two sides, where you are now exchanging your money for money, or your investment for money. So that's why I love cryptocurrency. That's why I love the opportunity that it affords every person on this planet. As long as you have a connection to the internet, you can actually engage in cryptocurrency investing, if you will. And that's why you have to get in the game. Even if you don't do any of these protocols I just noted here, I know that most of you are struggling from paycheck to paycheck. I also know that most of you want a lot better for you and your family's financial future. And what I'm suggesting to you now is, in order for you to do that, you got to do something different. You got to stop being afraid and scared. You got to embrace risk. That's par for the course if you're going to do something great and extraordinary, no matter what it is. And so, again, if you've enjoyed the content of this video, if you can hit that like button for me, I appreciate your time. I'm just, again, just having a conversation with you. I want to cause you to think about where you are in life right now. And I also want to let you know that you have some options out there that can get you out of the financial rut you're in. I thank you for your time. I thank you for watching the video, and I look forward to making another one here in the near future. Until then, you guys stay blessed, and we'll talk to you later. Bye bye.